The next thing we want to talk about is links, because while this page now has some visual interest in it, it's not very hyper, as in hyper, like in hypertext markup language. This is something that you can do on the web. You can make links to other pages in your site or to other pages on the web. And I've got a lot of opportunities to do that in here. I have in here, one of the very first things I say here is that I got my PhD at the University of Texas at Austin. So if I want to make a link to the University of Texas, I say href equal, and then I would put in the URL for the University of Texas, utexas.edu, and my attribute is href equals the value, that's the URL for the site, utexas.edu, and you can also use the www if you want. And then I want to make sure I close this at the end of the word that I want to have the hyperlink, that I want the underline to stop. So I'm going to say /a here, and that means only the words the University of Texas at Austin will be underlined and will act as a link. Everything else after that will be stopped. Let's save it and refresh. And now we see a blue underline here, and when I click on it, it should go to the University of Texas's website, and it does. But one thing I don't really like about that is this is my website, and when I click on the University of Texas, it goes to that page, but I may spend some time here on this page clicking on these different links and lose my original site. So what I like to do is when I have somebody clicking on a link that takes them out of my site, I like to have it open in a new tab or window, and you've probably seen that when you've been working on the web. The way to do that is another attribute which assigns the target. In this case, the target equals underscore blank. That's the convention for saying open in a new window. And you just have to make sure you close any quotation marks that you open for any of these attributes. And if we refresh this page now and click on the link, it should open in a new tab, and it does, and then we can easily close that tab to get back to my own page. So we can set up a lot of these different links anywhere we want in the page. Down here I talk about teaching at Texas State University, so let's go ahead and put another A for anchor, href equal, and then we'll put the URL for Texas State, txstate.edu, and we also do target equal underscore blank for this one. And then we want that link to stop at the end of the words Texas State University. And also notice that I use the http:// here. These are for links that are going out to the web on other people's websites. That has to be there for it to work for links on other websites, because if you don't include that, the browser thinks that you're trying to find a page on your own site. This will make sense later. So I'm going to refresh this, and now we also have the link for Texas State University that opens in its own window, and it goes to the Texas State homepage. The last thing I want to be able to do is to change the color of the links, the color of the text, and the color of the background. We'll have more advanced ways to do that later, but to change that in HTML, you can add some attributes to the body tag. So to change the background color, the attribute is bgcolor, and we can use any number of colors or color codes, and if you look up HTML color codes, you'll see many websites that have these 6-digit color codes that let you get shades. But many colors also work as well. So for example, if we just put blue in here and we save this and we come over and refresh the page, we have a pretty ugly page. It's got a dark blue background with black text, very, very difficult to read. So let's try to pick something that's a little easier to read, better for the users. We'll say beige, and we'll refresh that page. And now we have a beige background. And if we wanted to change the color of our text, the attribute is text, and let's say we want the text to now be blue. This is not necessarily a design that we would like or wish, and that would make the text blue. I really like the text to be black, so we're going to leave it the default of black. You can also change the colors of the links. The link attribute changes the color of the link before it was clicked on. So we can change it from the default that's blue to another color. So let's say we want these links to be red, perhaps. And then you can also change the color of the link for when it's visited. So we'll say the v-link equals, and when it's visited, we'll make it green. So let's save those, and we'll refresh our page. And now we have the beige background, the black text. We've already clicked on these links, and so that's why they're green. If we added a new link that was not clicked on yet, it would be red, and that's how you get that effect. When we introduce CSS later, you'll also be able to add a hover effect to your links. Also notice that the body tag opens and closes at the end of the page before the closing HTML tag. We don't use the body tag multiple times. We don't have to close it again up here. We are adding the attributes within the opening body tag. And that's it. That is how we do text formatting, images, and links. In my next video, I will talk about creating lists and tables on your web page.